In this video, I'm going to walk through the steps of adding various users to your Canvas shell and which roles you should add someone in. First, log into the Canvas shell you want to add someone to and click on People. This might be another instructor, it might be a TA, it might be a tutor, it might be a reader. Click on the plus people at the upper right hand corner, and you will need to add someone by their full pipeline username with the full pipeline email address afterwards. You cannot use just the sbcc.edu, and you cannot add people outside of pipeline. So it needs to be their username with the full email suffix afterwards. I want to talk briefly about each role and when you might use each role. I'm going to start with the most common, and I'll go through each and every one of the roles and how to use them. First is the student role. This role is reserved for banner enrolled students. Do not enroll students with this role. It can cause problems with admissions and records. You want to make sure that all the students who have access to your course as a student are fully enrolled in your course. Okay. You might even find that when you add students that they get bumped out because the enrollment's being updated by banner. So to minimize frustration and other issues, do not add people to the student role in a regular credit or non-credit class. If you're running a club or a department shell or some other custom shell that we've created for you, you can add students manually this way. The next role down is the tutor role. Feel free to add tutors to this role. Yes, they will show up in your gradebook. No, we cannot change that. Tutors have the access to view and all the assignments and discussions and quizzes. They can participate in discussions, but they have no access to the gradebook. The other role that we get asked a lot for is adding other teachers or adding evaluators. So the teacher role is also reserved for banner enrolled teachers and should be reserved just for the teacher of record. So don't add other teachers using this role. If you want to add a co-teacher or someone else who should have full teacher rights to your course, add them as a co-teacher. If you want to add someone just so they can be your evaluator, you're going to add them as an observing teacher. They can see all your content, they can see all the discussion posts, but they don't have access to the gradebook and the grades, and they can't edit your content, and they can't delete your course or copy your course into another shell. So observing teachers for evaluators or someone who just wants to see your content. Keep in mind the teacher or the co-teacher role can be seen by all your students as well. So you really want to reserve those roles. The participant role is the exact same role as a student and should really just be used for clubs and departments and custom Canvas shells as well. Okay. Scrolling down a little bit here, we've got the TA role. The TA role, it can edit all your content. It can add grades. It can view all the grades, but it cannot assign a final grade. The reader role is more restrictive. It's similar to the tutor role, but it does not show in the gradebook, but it does have access to see all the grades in the gradebook. So for FERPA issues, you always want to add tutors as the tutor role. I know it's frustrating that they show up in your gradebook, but just keep in mind that the TA role and the reader role do have access to all your students' names with their grades. So really keep that in mind. The designer role has full editing access to your class. They can change all the content, they can copy content, they can add new content, but they have no access to the gradebook. So they can't see the students in the gradebook and they can't see any grades. The observer role is very limited and can only see, only has view access to your class. So they can see the content, they can't turn anything in, they can't take a quiz, they can't participate in the discussion. They can see the discussion, they can see the posts in the discussions, but they can't post them themselves. So this can be good for adding prospective students, maybe your waitlisted students, or students that you're thinking about possibly re-enrolling, or even another instructor who just wants to see your content, but you don't want to give them a bunch of access. Hopefully that helped clear up what the rules do.